Let's look at some Vikings draft targets. Stock down after the combine. All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. We just did a stock up. Now we're doing stock down. Targets that the Vikings were looking at. Just, didn't have a great day.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about those guys. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like the vids. Hit that subscribe button. Gently hit it hard. Caress it. Whatever you want to do. But just hit it. Get that thing up to 8,900 here at the end of the week. Let's do it. Also, get yourself a Lift Bridge brew. And also head over
to that. Looks yummy. I'd like to place a cold beer on it. Some of these guys probably had a nice cold beer after their performance, trying to sulk their sorrows. Let us know in comments, any guys who had stock down.
Well, and let's talk. I mean, this isn't like no one's moving from a first rounder to a seventh rounder. I mean, maybe one guy, but
that's a little extreme.
This is, maybe a guy bumping down a few spots on the Vikings board. Maybe the Vikings moving someone up above these guys. Nothing over drastic, but guys who just didn't quite live up to the hype.
Well, the biggest thing I take away from these stock down guys, which I do think moves them a lot, is their size. Some of these guys that come in just completely, either their size is smaller or then their workouts don't match it. I mean, if someone goes out there and drops some balls or whatever, that is what it is. But let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
Start with the first one.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt. And I think stock down here for me, this is what the one thing Jalen Hyatt does is his speed, right? He's speed. That's basically his big thing. Not a route runner. It's his speed. A lot of people expect him to run like a 4.34, 4.35. He comes in with a 4.41, which isn't a horrible time. But when speed is your thing, you got to live up to the hype. You look like Jackson Smith and Jigba. His whole thing was the short area quickness, his route running, and he just blew those areas out of the water. I was expecting that from Jalen Hyatt. The fact he ran where he did was very disappointing. He also had some questionable hands in some of the catching drills. So Jalen Hyatt, the Vikings were considering him in round 1. I think you got to bump him down to a round 2 grade now after this workout.
Yeah, I mean, Hyatt, I'm kind of torn on this one. Hyatt, he's one of those guys where, yes, he is very fast, but they say he's more explosive. I mean, it's not just that straight line speed. So I think he outperforms on the field as far as what his 40 was. But yeah, I'm glad. Honestly, I don't want the Vikings to take him. So
I didn't either. I mean, I was warming up to him, and I was getting it in my head. But when you watch his highlights, he's like 20 yards behind everybody. It's not even close. There's no contested balls because he blows everybody. He blows by everybody.
It's not because he's running a 2.340.
Well, he's pretty damn fast.
But I thought he'd be hard to get open.
Let's go to the next one. Hacksaw Max Duggan. Duggan.
Quarterback BYU. Go watch his throwing drills, and you'll see why. The dude was chucking things almost into the stands. And that was enough for me to just be completely done with Max.
That was it. Accuracy, mechanics were an issue. He came in smaller than expected. He did a decent 40. But that's the only thing Max Duggan did well. Just not a good day for him.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Hopefully he comes back his pro day and just lights shit up. All right, you got another one coming up here.
Yeah, Siaka Ika, defensive tackle, Baylor. I was very intrigued by him. Went and watched his highlights. Wasn't overly impressed. And I wanted to see some athleticism here. Wanted to see some, short 10-yard split pretty high. None of that. It was just basically confirm what you saw in film. This guy's just a muscle guy, a guy who's going to sit there and plug up lanes. You can't expect much interior pressure from him. This workout confirmed basically what you see on tape. Siaka Ika, I think he's just one of these guys who he just eats up people, but that's what you're going to get. I think he's a one-trick pony.
Is it fair to say your just expectations were off? Maybe it's not stock down. It's just like for some reason you thought he was going to be this freak athlete all of a sudden?
No, not even that. I just wanted to see something to give me some hope he could be more than just a lane clogger kind of guy. I wanted to see a little bit. So it wasn't even like I had that high expectations. I wanted to maybe get him back to where I could consider trading down and still take him in round 1. To me now he goes off the board probably mid to late round 2.
All right. Clark Phillips, a guy that I've started to gradually fall in love with, came in at 5'9", $184 with short arms. And the other part of it is just, his speed was 4.51 at that size. If he comes in that small, it would have been nice to at least see just a blazing 4.4 or something like that. But Clark, he's been very hyped. That might cool off a little bit.
I mean, he still is what he is. He's a physical tackler, but you can't invest a first-round pick in a short corner with short arms and who ran a 4.5 140. That's just, he's got round 2 written, maybe even round 3 written all over him now. So maybe the Vikings get lucky and he falls to 87. You get him there.
Well, they're saying that these numbers pretty much just confirm that he is just a straight up nickel in the NFL.
Hey, you need a good nickel to succeed.
All right, let's go to Tank Dell. Tank Dell, another one. It's not like his size overly shocked anyone. 5'8", $165, but again, when it came to his 40, 4.49, and then just the other drills, he didn't really do anything else. So not only does his size what we expected, but he just didn't pop off.
Yeah, the way he did at the Senior Bowl, he didn't really follow it up with a repeat performance. He was blown by guys, just beating them right off the line, and he didn't see that kind of explosion here in his workout. So Tank Dell, yeah, a guy who up after the Senior Bowl, down a little bit after the Combine.
Jordan Addison, a hot name that we've talked about a lot. Stock down.
Yeah, a couple things. Came in shorter than expected, and he also ran slower than expected. And a guy who, very explosive in USC, a lot of different things you can do with him, a fluid mover, good hands. I think, his workout left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, and it also didn't help that some of these other wide receivers look just damn good. So Addison, still going to be a first-round pick. I would be shocked if he isn't, but he could have helped his stock quite a bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting now where these receivers and how they come off the board in what order, because I think the Combine really muddied the waters. This
last one's gonna hurt Lupagus' heart, but Ivan Pace, linebacker from Cincinnati. A lot of people watch the show definitely like some Ivan Pace. I still like him, but his arms were 30.25 of inch. That's insanely short.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Ivan Pace. I mean, know what he is? He's an aggressive, attacking football player. He's got short arms. I don't think anybody's really surprised by that. He's kind of a short dude in general.
It was definitely shorter than expected.
Yeah, but I mean, what were you expecting? How much longer?
Well, here's the thing: is Ivan Pace's biggest worries when you read any big time draft profile is he gets engulfed by these wide bodies, and the biggest reason for that is having short arms. His lack of length makes him a very inconsistent tackler. These just confirm it. And what sucks about it is I actually dug in deeper, hopefully to find some hope. And the average arm length for a linebacker is 32 inches. And there's like nobody in the NFL that has them this short, like nobody. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a concern, definitely going to be this big knock moving forward. But again, the way he plays the game, so aggressive, so attacking. I love that about Ivan Pace Jr. So, his short arms, yeah, it'll see where it makes him fall. You look at some of these other linebackers who blew this thing out of the water. Owen Poe, Trenton Simpson, so Jack Campbell, Drew Sanders. Pace is probably going to fall all below those guys. DeMarvin Overshown will probably go ahead of him. So I'll be curious where he does come off the board. If Vikings can land this guy, if he's there in round 4, what a steal.
I think Pace is going to be a guy that surprisingly falls, and I think this is exactly why.
Yeah,
he can be explosive if he wants, but if somebody gets his hands on him, he can't get away from him.
We'll call him the T-Rex. So we'll call
him. I hope
so.
Carnivore. I'm pulling for Pace. I love this guy. I hope we do get him.
I mean, I think he makes up for it with the way he plays. So,
all right, first time for everything.
There is. And then we got to mention Jalen Carter. Anytime you have to leave the Combine to go get arrested for a little bit, that is a concern. That is a stock down. He did come back. He cheered on his teammates. I think he continued to meet with some teams, did his medical. But that's not a good sign when you got to leave to go spend a few minutes with the Popo.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it to him. We'll see where this ends up. But the fact that he actually did come back still and kind of face the music, pretty big deal.
Yeah. So a lot to be determined there when it comes to Jalen Carter. So that's it. Those are stock downs from the Combine this year. Let's know who else you have a big red arrow pointing down toward. Anybody just you don't want it all anymore after this Combine? I'd love to hear that as well. And also remember this: the average female orgasm lasts twice as long as the average male's.